Hi everyone, welcome to Boxing Block Center, the home of Nigerian African boxing. And please, if you're new to this channel, make sure you click the like and of course the subscribe button right now. So, Dillian the body snatcher Whyte defeated Ebenezer Tetteh last night. It was an interesting fight, but sincerely speaking, I believe that Dillian Whyte should retire. A guy like Dillian Whyte should not be struggling with Ebenezer Tetteh, especially after, like Whyte got dropped. Like at some point they exchanged. I think it was around around 5 or 6. They started exchanging. Tetteh was basically done. Whyte threw all the A makers, threw his a signature left hook, but like Tetteh took it and never went down. Whyte himself went down after that. After exchanging with the Tetteh, he went down. He took a knee basically. That just showed me that Whyte, a lot of the flaws that he had, back then in the amateurs and stuff like that, he still has it. But I think his engine is gone. His engine is no longer there. The chin is no longer good. Whyte didn't have the best of chin, but Whyte can take a punch. We all know that. He didn't have the best of chin, in his prime, but he could take a punch. The only punch he can't really take that well is the uppercut. And funny enough, Ebenezer Tetteh didn't actually throw a lot of uppercuts. I barely saw any from him. That's the mistake he made. Immediately Whyte took that knee, basically went down, like when his knees. I think Tetteh should have at least thrown a nasty uppercut, and that would have knocked Whyte out. But Tetteh, the guy is already almost 60 years old. He's Ghanaian, right? So I don't really believe in the official age. Especially when you look at the way the guy is. You look at the face alone. That guy is grandpa already, man. It has to be the same age as Luis Ortiz. But after the fight, Whyte called out Anthony Joshua, saying Joshua still wants it. It's funny Whyte is saying that, forgetting the fact that the fight with Joshua, the rematch, could have happened had him been he stayed clean. He didn't stay clean. That's the reason why it didn't happen, right? And when you look at, Whyte's career, and you tend to wonder, damn, this guy, like, he's a champion that wasn't. I remember him trying to get his hands on the WBC belt, calling Wilder out. He was the mandatory for quite a long time. Well, the WBC is, I think the president, Mr. Suleiman, I think he's one of the reasons why we all saw these fights we wanted to see didn't happen. Because I don't know what is with him, but he favored a lot of PBC fighters, and also he doesn't tend to take action like the IBF governing body does. He doesn't do that. Like the IBF, what they do basically is they make sure that you fight your mandatory. Like if they give you an exception, it's very like it's not an exception where you get to choose who you like. They might give you one once or twice, but you must abide by their rules basically. And that's facts. So it's a pity that Dillian Whyte did not become a world champion. And you look at Dubois, how he got there. Like, oh damn, like Dubois is a world champion and Whyte has never been one. It's crazy. I'm not talking about the WBC silver belt. I'm talking about the legitimate title, holding that title as the man, basically. It's a pity, man. So the performance, how I see it, I believe people are saying, well, Joshua need to retire and stuff like that. Joshua hasn't shown that kind of vulnerability like Whyte showed, last night. He hasn't shown that yet. Like Whyte was breathing very hard, bro. Like I don't know what happened. The guy barely could breathe, and that's a sign of a declining fighter. Whyte is a declining fighter. So it's kind of sad because I do like Whyte. Of course, him and Joshua are still huge rivals, but man, Joshua will do damage on Whyte if they were to fight again. But it would be an interesting fight. I would watch it. But looking at that performance, nah, man, Joshua will do damage on Whyte, man. I think he will knock him out 5 rounds, 4, round 5 maximum. It's sad. And this is why I would expect Whyte to basically select his fights. He has to choose who he fights and not just go for any fights, So that's how I see it. And you guys can give your thoughts below. And by the way, before I go, let me talk about Jamie Munguia losing at his hometown in Mexico. Jamie Munguia lost to a French guy named Bruno, who didn't have a lot of knockouts in his 20-something plus wins. Bruno, I think that is what you call, I wouldn't say it's a lucky punch, but that is what you call a well-timed punch, because Bruno knew that Jamie Munguia tends to leave himself open when he throws a punch, when he's on the attack. So Bruno waited for that moment and threw that right hand. In fact, he himself couldn't believe that he had that punch, that he had that power. So it might be the Buster Douglas of that division. Funny enough, Jamie Munguia was dropped by Canelo, who is way more bigger puncher than Bruno. But it just shows that styles make fights, and when your days is near, then nobody can change it. It just shows that. It's one of those things you have to also look at and kind of appreciate, So, but I heard that Jimmy Munguia, or Jaime Munguia, if you want to say it in Spanish, has a rematch clause. So I think he would definitely exercise a rematch clause, and that would be nice. I would love to see that fight again. Funny enough, I caught the fight at the last minute, basically. But I heard it was a fantastic fight. Stay tuned, guys, for more exclusive video right here. And God bless you all. Cheers.